Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight. Donald Trump will be joining me in a moment, but first, my opening statement. Do we really need to go through this again? The Republican establishment, desperate to stop Trump and Cruz, still working to nullify our vote. If ever there were a time to not take away our vote, it's now, at a time when more people than ever are invested and voting. You want to keep your status quo, the one where one hand washes the other and we pay for the soap. Now, I've said this before, and the establishment is not listening. The lobbyists keep their offices on K Street. The pharmaceutical companies keep paying them. The unions keep adding to their pensions. And the lawmakers get their reelection bribes. Contributions. While we, the underclass, have to work 2 and 3 jobs, rack up a debt our children and grandchildren are going to have to pay for generations. This week, party heavies Reince Priebus and Karl Rove not directly answering questions and essentially admit they intend to both disrespect us and nullify our vote. Rove saying this.
Donald Trump excites a lot of enthusiasm, but he also excites a lot of anger within the Republican Party and outside of the Republican Party, and a fresh face might be the thing that could give us a chance to turn this election and win in November against Hillary.
Fresh face? You want a fresh face? Aren't you the guy who kept bringing us one Bush after another? And RNC Chair Priebus refuses to say whether the presidential nominee for Republicans will be one of the top vote getters, Trump or Cruz. He says the Republican nominee is going to be someone who is running. Now, what does that tell you? That the party chair is not willing to say the nominee will be one of the 2 top vote getters, the top 2 delegate winners. Instead, he quotes Rule 40, that a candidate needs the majority of 8 states. Okay, Trump has won far more. Then, after he pretty much continues to rule out Trump and Cruz, he says our nominee is going to be someone who is running. Now, if you rule out Trump and Cruz, unless the Republicans are looking to nominate Hillary or Bernie, he's signaling that John Kasich will be their nominee. The operative word, their nominee, not our nominee. But more important is Rule 42. It calls Rules 26 to 42 the standing rules. Standing as in temporary. Temporary as in they can be changed. Now, if they can change Rule 40 and give the nomination to someone who does not have 8 states, and if they can change Rule 42, then even if Trump gets to that number 1, 2, 3, 7, they can then move the goalpost to wherever they want. They then maneuver to a brokered convention and give it to Kasich or whomever. Now, these RNC rules are teed up for the convention rigging. They can nullify whatever occurs before the convention. And the 2012 rules that are now in place don't necessarily apply to this convention. The RNC and Rules Committee has the power to change the rules, and there's no way to challenge the results, no opportunity to go to court. The fix is in. I've lambasted Barack Obama for his condescension and his belief that only he knows what's good for us. And I've lambasted the Democrats for their superdelegates committed to Hillary before their state even votes. You know what? The Republicans actually take the cake. They're not even hiding what they plan to do. They are about to change the rules, ignore the votes of people who waited in line for hours, and invalidate the votes of people who have never voted before, and put in a candidate they think is good for them. Whatever happened to your vote matters? Not only is that infuriating, it is un-American. Now, look. I get it. I ran for office. I get it when senators and governors endorse their pals and try to convince you that their friend is best for you. But not since the American Revolution has the ruling class tried so hard and so blatantly to take away our vote. Do you not recall when we dissolved the political ties that bound us to the monarchy when they strayed from all ideals of equity and fairness? A primer to the establishment. We don't get our rights from government. Government derives its power from the consent of the governed. We institute government to secure our rights, not to allow them to be taken away. Honestly, I don't care what you think of our choice or whether you like our favorites or not. Like everyone else, I will not be a puppet on a string, so stop trying to pull our strings. And that's my opening.